Hmm. All right, had some technical difficulties there. I apologize for that. That's my bad. StreamYard's being weird tonight, and I think my internet connection is a little bit flustered. But anyway, I am live for the first time in 2024. Just haven't really had the urge to go live as of late, and I figured I wanted to do that tonight to give you guys time to ask me whatever questions that you have regarding this channel, regarding what I do, the content that I put on JDev TV, because you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV. So I had some topics that I definitely wanted to touch upon tonight, and thank you for everybody that's a subscriber to this channel. The channel has done a lot of good things, but obviously I'm not where I want to be right now. But I want to talk about the newest version of Dexter that's going to come out sometime next year probably, and that would be Dexter Original Sin. I want to talk about the UFC, specifically like UFC 303 and the UFC Saudi Arabia card. And of course I want to talk about movies that came out in 2024. So I don't see anybody in the chat yet, which is fine because I had technical difficulties, so that's understandable. So I guess I'll start things off with all the movies so far that I've seen in the theater in 2024 and what I think about those said movies thus far. So kicking things off with these movies, and these are in order from when I saw them, we have Night Swim, this A24 wannabe horror movie, which I guess it's okay. I wasn't super fond of it though. It had a few jump scares, so I did give it 2 stars, but ultimately the film lacked, just lacked. It wasn't very interesting. Like, all the characters except for the main female weren't that exciting in my opinion, so I gave that 2 stars. Then we have Beekeeper with Jason Statham, which I thought was pretty good. Does it have a lot of plot to it? Like, there's not a lot of explanation. They just kind of get right into things, but it was a decent movie. I gave it 3 stars. We have Mean Girls, the ripoff of the 2004 version, and I think the new version of Mean Girls isn't that bad. People are giving it a bad score, but it's basically the same movie over again, except for this one is a musical. Then we have ISS, International Space Station. I liked ISS. I enjoyed that at the time. For a while, that was my favorite movie that I've seen so far in 2024. I gave that 3.5 stars, which probably for some people, that's a very high score, but I enjoyed it. It's like a psychological thriller on the International Space Station, so I thought that was pretty interesting. We have Argyle. Argyle was good, but I don't know, it's probably too long. They tried to put twist after twist after twist in the movie, but still it was entertaining. I think initially I gave that 4 stars, but I changed my score to 3, and I do that. Occasionally I will reduce the amount of stars I give a movie after thinking about it for a while. We have Lisa Frankenstein. I gave that 3 stars. I definitely need to watch that one over again, as my theater experience for that movie absolutely sucked. This group of kids were in the theater, and they would not shut the fuck up, and I eventually had to like yell at them nicely, like, can you go out in the lobby if you're gonna continue to talk? It was me, some other 2 girls, and then a group of teenagers, middle school students that were just being loud, obnoxious, and it was absolutely the worst theater experience I've ever had. We have what some would say is the worst movie of the year, Madam Web, a Sony superhero movie in the Spider-Man universe, but it doesn't actually have Spider-Man. My expectations were so low for Madam Web that I kind of liked it. Now, it does have Sydney Sweeney in it, so that always helps. I just thought it was good. It was a little sloppy at the end, in my opinion, but I wouldn't be opposed to watching it again. I know a lot of people give it a half a star or 1 star, but I gave it 2.5, and I actually enjoyed Madam Web. Then we have Imaginary. Now, for this movie, my expectations were really high. I wasn't really sure what I was going to get, but I thought what I was going to get was a lot better than what I got. Just a weird movie. Boring. Not very interesting. If you like it, that's your opinion. But I gave that movie 1 star. I think my initial score was higher, but I usually change my score by half a star at least. But Imaginary for me is going to be 1 star. And then we have Dune Part 2. It's okay. It's good. I fooled you when I said it's okay. It was good. I might lower my score once I see it again, but so far, Dune Part 2, 4 stars for me. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. I thought that movie was highly overrated, in my opinion. I wasn't really into it at all. Didn't really enjoy all the stuff that happened in the movie. Yeah, it's good. These nostalgia, the nostalgia factor with these characters coming back in the movie is good. These characters that we've seen since 1984, but I just didn't enjoy it. Like, I felt like I was bored. It had some good moments, but ultimately I only gave Ghostbusters 2.5 stars. Then we have Immaculate with Sydney Sweeney. So already with Sydney Sweeney, it gets an automatic like 1.5 stars. And while the story is kind of boring, I liked it. It had a couple creepy moments in the movie. And Immaculate, I would recommend. It has a crazy ending. Well, some of you won't like it, some of you will. But I thought it was, for what I was expecting, Immaculate, in my opinion, delivered. And then we have Civil War. Civil War was good. Very slow to begin. I gave that one 3.5 stars. I think once you see Jesse Plemons' character, that's when the movie really picks up. But other than that, it didn't really work for me. And I see there's some people in the chat, if you want to, or some people in the stream, if you want to let me know that you're here. I know we had some technical difficulties at the beginning with stupid StreamYard, and it wasn't working for some reason. I thought I was going to cancel the stream, but it did. But anyway, Civil War, pretty good movie. I enjoyed it, but only 3.5 stars. Then we have Sting. Sting was all right. If you get creeped out by spiders, you may not want to watch Sting. But I gave it 3 stars. I did nap during the first half an hour of the movie. Some movies I just automatically go to sleep, or close my eyes at least. But I thought Sting was okay to a degree, but it's one that I might need to see again, and I might change my opinion on it. But so far, I'll stick with 3 stars. Arcadian, the Nicolas Cage Quiet Place movie, but they're not quiet. I thought it was okay. It's a movie that I want to watch again because I might change my opinion on it. I gave it 2.5 stars, but it could be better. I'm just not sure. I saw it in a theater all by myself. It's the only movie that I've ever seen all by myself. Then we have Abigail. That was a lot of fun by the crew that brought us Ready or Not, Scream 5 and Scream 6. Abigail, probably one of the best movies I've seen so far in 2024, and I've given that so far 4 stars. I think that's going to stay at 4 stars. It was fun. I knew what to expect with that movie. Then we have the new version of Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor. I thought Conor McGregor's character was too cartoonish in the movie. I've never, to my knowledge, ever seen the original Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. So I gave that one 2.5 stars. Wasn't super impressed with it, but, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again, but I do need to watch the original Roadhouse to compare the two films. Fall Guy. That I thought was better than most people are giving it credit for. I think it's a fun movie. I think Ryan Gosling does good. Emily Blunt can do no wrong, in my opinion. And it's a true story about stuntmen in Hollywood. And I enjoyed The Fall Guy. So I gave it 4 stars. And again, if you're in the chat, or I should say in the stream, I see some people in here, but I haven't seen anybody chat. So let me know if you can hear me at least, because I don't know. There might be something wrong with the stream or something like that. Then we have Challengers, which that movie's kind of sat with me more than most movies had this year because it was a very interesting movie where you have this woman played by Zendaya and you have these two guys. And these two guys are really into each other, but they're both really into Zendaya's character. And I thought it was a really interesting movie. Like, it made me think more about the movie. So I kind of want to see Challengers again. Maybe I'll hate it the next time I see it, but I gave it 3.5 stars thus far. Next up is Tarot. I don't know what I was thinking when I first watched this movie. I think I gave it 3 stars, but after thinking about it, not very long either, I'm like, wait a minute. I thought the movie looked good. That was the only thing I liked about the movie. I liked the character. I guess I should say I liked the character that was Ned in Spider-Man. I thought he did really good, but it wasn't that interesting. It was like Final Destination, but like a PG-13 version of Final Destination, or even a PG version of Final Destination. A lot of people are shitting on Tarot. I'm not quite shitting on it. I still think Imaginary was worse, but it's not much better. Then we have Infested. Now, this movie might have premiered at like a film festival in 2023. I thought Infested was all right. It was okay. I don't like subtitles, but I thought the spiders looked really good. But then, as a lot of other people say, and I don't want to copy them, but once they get bigger and bigger, it's like Eight-Legged Freaks, which I haven't seen that movie in forever. And it gets kind of cheesy at the end, but Infested was pretty good. Then we have The Idea of You, which is a movie on Amazon Prime with Anne Hathaway in it. I'm not 100% sure yet because I want to rewatch some of these movies, and obviously the year's not over with yet, but I think The Idea of You is probably my favorite movie that I've seen thus far. I just thought it was really good, and my expectations for it were not very high, to say the least. So that's why I would put 4 stars for The Idea of You. And if you're in the chat or if you're in the stream and let me know you're here. I haven't seen anybody chat yet, which is really weird. Next up, we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, a movie that a lot of people are saying is an amazing movie. I thought it was okay. It's 3 stars for me. It's not bad. It's not good. Or I should say it's not bad. It's not amazing. It's just good in my opinion. Might be a movie I need to rewatch. And actually, my dad wants to see that movie, and I might go with him to see it on Father's Day after a Father's Day lunch. So we'll see. I don't really want to see it again, but maybe my opinion would change on it. Then next up we have In a Violent Nature, the Friday the 13th movie done better than Friday the 13th, where we follow the killer. It's a little slow at times following the killer walking through the woods, but I kind of liked it. It's not as bad as what people were saying. It didn't seem that long to me because there's things going on that you're focusing on as well. And the only thing that brings that movie down, in my opinion, is the lack of an ending. Like, the ending for In a Violent Nature is like dumb. Like, the last 10 minutes of the movie had really no point to me, other than the fact that I thought something was going to happen and it didn't happen. So 2.5 stars, but I actually enjoy In a Violent Nature. I think it's better than the original Friday the 13th. Obviously the yoga kill is amazing in that. So that's my opinion on In a Violent Nature. And then we have The Watchers. It's directed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, and I actually liked Watchers. I thought it was good. Great? No. I'm going to give it 3 stars right now. My opinion on that one could change. I'm not really sure what to think of Watchers, but I feel like the end was kind of predictable, but maybe that's what they're going for. I don't know. Another movie that's in contention for the movie of the year would be Bad Boys: Ride or Die. I gave it 4 stars. I liked it. I didn't think it's the best Bad Boys movie, but I was entertained during it. I saw that after Watchers, so I did a double feature. But I enjoyed it for the most part. It was fun. I think Will Smith and Martin Lawrence have great chemistry, and it shows. And this franchise probably will continue. And they might as well call it Bad Boys, Fast and the Furious, Ride or Die, or something like that, because it's turned into the Fast and the Furious franchise. And if you're here, sorry for the technical difficulties at the beginning of the stream. Something was going on, and it wouldn't fix itself right away. I've never had a problem until tonight doing live streams, although I don't go live much. And then the last movie I want to talk about, at least for now, until people get in the chat, or at least let me know that they're here, would be Hitman. It's a movie that's on Netflix with Glenn Powell, actually recommended by Sean Chandler, and I actually liked it. Now, initially when I watched the first 20 minutes of it, it was late on a Friday night, last Friday night, and I was bored out of my mind for 20 minutes. But right when I turn it off is once it starts getting interesting. So actually I watched it last Saturday night, I think. But once I went back to it on Sunday, I thought it was pretty good. Or was that 2 weeks ago? I don't remember. But I liked Hitman. I think Glenn Powell has a lot of depth to his acting ability. And I'd like to see him in a lot more different roles in the future. So those are all the movies that I've seen so far in 2024. I've seen quite a bit of them thus far. I guess I want to break my record from last year, which it's not like I go to movies like people that do movie reviews on YouTube, but I like to see my fair share of movies. And last year I saw 31 or 32 in the theater, and I'm already at 23, 22, something like that. So I'm definitely going to kill that record. So that's it for the movies for this year so far. And then, of course, we have a topic that is very important right now to a lot of people, and that would be what's going on with the UFC and the events that they have as of late. You have the Saudi card, which, of course, Khamzat Chimaev is now out, and you have Ikram Aliskerov facing Robert Whittaker now, which is actually a fun fight, too, but Khamzat Chimaev pulls out a week essentially before the card. Well, a little bit more than a week. And then you have UFC 303, which a bunch of shit changed on UFC 303. You have Diego Lopez facing Brian Ortega now in a co-main event. You have Jamal Hill hurting his knee. You already had Khalil Roundtree popping for some PED. So you put Anthony Smith versus Carlos Ulberg now. And then the main event went from Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, which is a fight I really wanted to see because I wanted to see a certain somebody get their ass kicked. Now you have the rematch between Yuri Prochazka and Alex Pereira, which I'm actually intrigued by that, actually. I kind of like the main and co-main. The Ulberg versus Smith fight, I don't care about. I think Smith's going to get annihilated, but he was supposed to get annihilated in his last fight, and he came through. But hats off to Alex Pereira. I mean, the guy just fights. He doesn't like to take a lot of time off. And he just keeps clubbing people with that left hook, other than Jan Blachowicz. And, he's headlining all these important cards for the UFC. UFC 295 last year when John Jones got hurt, so he had to pull out. And then, of course, UFC 300. Not a big notice for his fight, but he fights Jamal Hill at UFC 300, headlines that card, and now he's headlining International Fight Week. So, Alex Pereira, awesome job. Respect the hell out of you. And Alex Pereira is moving way up on my favorite fighters of all time, or my favorite active fighters list right now, because he just puts himself out there to fight. He's a fucking warrior. So, looking forward to those cards. I'm not sure what's going on here. Hopefully people can see this stream, because I'm worried that nobody's chatted with me yet. So what I'm going to do is enter the stream from my phone just to make sure everything is working correctly. Okay, it is. Good. Just want to make sure. Okay. And then I can go back to other topics once people get in, but if nobody's going to come in, I'll just leave. But we have more Dexter. We have Dexter Original Sin. I'm not super thrilled with a Dexter prequel series. I would prefer that they continue New Blood and rewrite the wrong that they did, because there's a way you can do it. No matter what people say, there's an easy way to continue New Blood and get people happy, at least for a season or two, and then maybe you have to end it. But a Dexter prequel series where we already got told Dexter's growing up story. We saw scenes of that happen. I'm just not sure if I like that idea, and I've already touched upon that. What more can they tell us in Dexter Original Sin? But we got a bunch of casting news for that series. So I'm just going to go over these people that are in the updated cast, and if you have questions, certainly ask me. So we now have Christian Slater is going to be Harry Morgan. We have Molly Brown, who's going to be playing Deborah Morgan, and we have Patrick Gibson, who's going to play Dexter Morgan. Now, obviously, I'm very familiar with Christian Slater. I think that's a good casting. That'll work for me. As far as the other people that are in it, let me go back to it here. Patrick Gibson, I'm unfamiliar with. Molly Brown, I don't believe I've seen any of her work. I could be wrong on that, but let me just double check here. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Molly Brown at all. She's been in a lot of roles, but she's going to have to follow the swearing that Jennifer Carpenter did for Dexter. We have Reno Wilson playing a character named Bobby Watt. I think Reno Wilson usually does voice work, from what I remember. So I don't know if I've seen him in anything where it's not voice work. I'm just looking at his filmography here on Internet Movie Database. Yeah, I knew he was a voice in Transformers, one of the Transformers movies, or I thought more than one, but interesting. Yeah, I'm not familiar with him. I'm not sure who that character is going to be, but I'm sure I'm surprised that we haven't got a James Dokes casting yet, or maybe they'll hold Dokes off until season 2, because you got to have people come back, and maybe that'll be the reason they come back. Christina Milian, I know her from like music stuff back in like the 2000s. She's going to be playing Maria LaGuerta. You have James Martinez playing Angel Batista. And then you have Alex Shimizu playing Vincent, or I should say Vince Masuka. I'm only familiar with Christian Slater and Christina Milian. Again, not the hugest fan of a prequel series, but I don't know. And we have the legendary Crazy Coffee Man in the chat. Obviously, I was talking about Dexter, and now he enters the chat. But I kind of am done with my Dexter talk to a degree. But welcome, Crazy Coffee Man. Yeah, you're not that late. I started at 9:30. Well, I thought I was going to start at 9:30, and I had issues with StreamYard. Like, for some reason, my computer keeps having issues where all of a sudden my mouse will stop working and like everything will freeze. Like I can't do anything else. So I got to hold my power button down a couple times, and it's a pain in the ass. I don't know why it's doing that. Ever since I changed my speakers on my computer, that's what's been happening for me. So I didn't start till like 9:35 my time, Central Time here in Wisconsin. So anyway, Mr. Crazy Coffee Man, I was just talking about the people so far that have been casted in Dexter New Blood. I'm sure you're aware of it. I sent you the original thing that happened, but obviously Christian Slater is going to be in Dexter New Blood, or Dexter Original Sin as Harry Morgan. We have Molly Brown playing Deborah Morgan. We have Patrick Gibson playing Dexter Morgan. And then we have Christina Milan playing Maria LaGuerta. We have Reno Wilson, I should say, playing Bobby Watt. Not sure who that character is supposed to be. You have James Martinez playing Angel Batista. And then you have Alex Shimizu playing the one and only Vince Masuka. So that is your cast thus far for Dexter Original Sin. I think they're holding on to a James Dokes maybe for a second season, because I'm kind of surprised they haven't announced that character yet, because I want to hear some surprise, motherfucker. I was going on and on about how I do not want to see a prequel series of Dexter. I would rather have them continue New Blood, bring Dexter back, say he didn't die, and then go from there. But it is what it is. I don't know. I'm not I don't know who's going to be doing this. It says Clyde Phillips, but it just says writer. If he's running this show, I kind of think Clyde Phillips dropped the ball with Dexter New Blood, so I don't know if I want to see Clyde Phillips anymore. But I don't know. All right, we got T. Parker Evans is in the chat. Yeah, Bad Boys 4 was a fun watch in the theaters. It should have been named Bad Boys for Life instead of Ride or Die. I 100% agree with you there. I actually, if anybody is not familiar with T. Parker Evans, I'm actually very fond of his thoughts on movies. I'm very quick to look at his letterbox scores of movies if I haven't, or if he's seen the movie already and I haven't yet. So, people that I look for that stuff like Cody Leach, Sean Chandler, Chris from 3C Films. 3 people that I instantly want to know what they thought of a movie because typically they see it before I can, which really pisses me off. We got goddamn film festivals. But yeah, Bad Boys 4, solid movie. Just a little cheesy at parts, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. Was not bored at all. Didn't feel any runtime issues. Okay, the part where they're in the plane and I'm forgetting the kid's name now. Damn it. Well, that sucks. Anyway, Mike Lowry's kid is in that cell, and they hold the cell up from falling out of the plane with their, okay, I gotta suspend disbelief, but Armando, that's his name. I just thought of it. But, other than that, don't have a problem with what happened in Bad Boys 4. So if you're a fan of the Bad Boys franchise, you may want to check it out. Go see it in the theater. Support your local cinemas. So, yeah, Dexter New Blood, back to that. I don't want a prequel series. We're going to get it, but I don't want it because I don't know what more they can tell us in a Dexter prequel series. It can't be anything close to what Better Call Saul was in terms of Breaking Bad, where Better Call Saul added a lot of layers to stuff and added some characters that we liked. Like in Better Call Saul, we get Ignacio Varga, Nacho. We get Ray Seorn as Kim Wexler. We get, Lalo Salamanca. We get these characters that we kind of fall in love with to a degree. And I just don't know if Dexter Original Sin can give us that. I think it's going to be just a cash cow to try to make money. It might do good the first few episodes, and then I think it's going to tank. They got to do something really crazy in Dexter Original Sin to make it worth people's time. I'll still be there to watch all the episodes because I'm a Dexter. People know my channel because of Dexter. There's 3 things that people know my channel from: Walking Dead, UFC fight reactions, and Dexter. And Dexter is probably the majority of those. When Dexter New Blood was going on, I had a big raise in subscribers and comments and views and likes and all that for my videos. Yeah, they're currently filming the Original Sin near where I live in Miami. Nice, okay. Well, make sure you get some set photos. I'm sure we're going to see the former cast members at some point during Original Sin. I think they're going to make cameo appearances to just kind of trickle them in just a little bit to, make us, nostalgia. There's Michael C. Hall. There's, there's Jennifer Carpenter. There's David Zayas. There's, James Rebhorn. They're going to trickle those in at some point. It's got to be. They're going to have them in there at some point, but I just don't want a prequel series. I'm not interested in that. Don't forget Scream. Don't forget Scream. Do I have to talk about Scream? Well, Scream 2 is obviously the greatest horror movie of all time. So, okay, I know you Halloween fans out there will say John Carpenter's Halloween is the best. Nick from the Lost River Drive-In. Not my cup of tea. I think I didn't see the Halloween movies until like the later 80s. That's the problem. I didn't grow up on the Halloween movies. I grew up on the Friday the 13th movies. I grew up on Friday the 13th Part 4. It's the first theater experience that I remember. Well, technically, the first theater experience that I had that I remember was going to an outdoors in either 1984, it could have been in 1985 because the movie stayed in theaters a lot longer back then. But it was a double feature, Ghostbusters and Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. And my mom went to the Ghostbusters part was for me, and I dozed off pretty early in the movie and pretty much slept through all of it. Then, of course, I woke up when the next movie was playing. It's this guy murdering people in a hockey mask, and I could not close my eyes. I was like infatuated with this movie, even though it's probably stuff that was too traumatizing for me at the time. It didn't seem to bother me. Horror movies never seem to bother me. It's like they were like a way to cope with everything else that was going on in life. So I enjoyed that, and yeah, I'm surprised I haven't been on my first horror movie, because that would be the one I'd be talking about, Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. But that was my first movie theater experience. Then the next movie that I remember seeing in the movie theater was Transformers 1986. That depressing movie where they kill off Optimus Prime pretty early on in the movie. I remember seeing that with my dad, I believe in 86. Maybe it was later, but yeah, anyway. I hope Michael C. Hall does the internal monologue narration. I'm sure Michael C. Hall is going to be tied to that at some point. He'll probably be an executive producer to start, and then he'll show up as like a surprise, or his voice will show up as a surprise at some point during the show. I just hope the other guy that's playing him, was his name Patrick Gibson. I've already forgot what his name was. Yes, Patrick Gibson. I hope that he can do as good as Michael C. Hall does. It's kind of like replacing Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. It's very hard to do. And I'm not a big Freddy fan. Yeah, I know I said it. I like the silent killers like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. I don't really like Freddy and Chucky. I can tolerate some of the Child's Play movies, but the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, I just don't enjoy it, which is a very, very crazy hot take. Most people would not say that. I tried to rewatch them, because I've seen them all. I've seen them all when they came out. I watched the first one. Didn't think it was that good. I actually enjoyed the second one because it was more darker. And then the third one kept putting me to sleep. So, I don't remember what the second one is called. But, Dream Warriors put me to sleep. So, I don't know. And then I just kind of gave up on it. But at some point on this channel, I will watch all those movies, stay awake during them, and give all you guys a ranking that like the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I just don't know when that will be. I'd watch Clyde Phillips take Dexter from the end of season 4 and remake it in what he imagined the ending would be. You know, anything going back to the original show would be great. I think what they really should do, the stuff that would make the most sense, is redo season 8. So start the series again from when Deborah killed LaGuerta. That way Jennifer Carpenter could be involved again. Maybe even bring back Evelyn Logo's character, Charlotte Rampling. I don't know, she's kind of old now, but, I thought she was a really good character. I don't know if that's the route you go, but I don't mind season 8 to a degree. I don't mind season 8. Some people hate season 8. I don't mind it, but that's where you have to go, in my opinion. And guess who you get to bring back if they do that? You get to bring back Hannah McKay, too, which obviously everybody knows my infatuation with Yvonne Strahovski, the actress that played Hannah McKay. I think she's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. So that's what the route I would go, is redo season 8. But like, you know what? We're redoing season 8. We're retconning it. Hey, Halloween retconned all the movies after the first one. So why can't Dexter retcon a season? Or 2, I guess, if you include Dexter New Blood. So, yeah, that's what I would do. I don't know if they'll ever do that, but they need to go that route. That will bring people back, because then you can bring back Angel Batista. You can bring back Vince McMahon. Well, you could still bring back all those characters, but they definitely can come back. And here's my nose itch time of the stream. I don't know. I don't know if Clyde Phillips should even be involved with it anymore. He upsetted me quite a bit for Dexter New Blood. That's what I would say. It wasn't the most exciting season of television. Although my first viewing of it, I wasn't as negative on it as I am now. But watching it again, Dexter New Blood, and I'm sure both of you, Crazy Kaufman and T. Parker Evans, have heard me talk about this already. But the characters in Dexter New Blood weren't really developed very well. Angela Bishop, to a degree, but the rest of the characters were just kind of scattered around, like Officer Logan, like Angela's daughter, like the Mary fucking Kill chick. It just I don't know, they weren't that interesting. Then you have these other characters that you think are going to play a bigger role, and then they end up doing nothing at all. Like Ed Olson, the rich oil guy. I take season 8 over season 6. My thoughts exactly. I fucking hate season 6. There, I said it. I've always said I've never been a fan of season 6. Season 8 just had a bad ending, while season 6 was just bad as a whole, except for the last 2 minutes and the return of Brian Moser and Brother Sam. I 100% agree with that. I think Brother Sam was an awesome character played by Mos Def. Well, at the time, Mos Def, but I think his name is different now. Brian Moser's character, pretty good. I'm trying to think. The first episode of season 6, where Dexter goes to his high school class reunion, I actually enjoy that part of the episode. I enjoy that. Somebody who was not popular in high school is like the most popular guy during a class reunion, because it's something similar that happened to me. Maybe not to that degree, but it's something that I can relate to, and I enjoyed that. Like, he's getting, a blowjob from like the hottest chick in high school, at least at the time. So that's I like that part of it, but Crazy Coffee Man is well aware of my distaste for religion. I don't really. It's not like I just don't know what to think for that stuff, and I don't like hearing about it. I don't like talking about it. It's just, I don't know. The whole religious aspect of season 6 is what gets me annoyed with that season. And the fact that you have Colin Hanks talking to himself, and it was pretty obvious all along that that was the case. But some people were thrown off by that. I was not. And surprisingly, I don't know if you guys know this. Well, I'm sure I've said it before, but I don't know if you've heard me say it, because, if somebody actually listens to every word that I said or say, great. But Dexter, I did not watch until the series ended. And nothing was spoiled, surprisingly. I knew no spoilers for Dexter. I didn't look at any. I did look at how many, I go on IMDb to see who's in the show, and I could see how many episodes they were in. But I never, I must have, passed Julie Bentz's character or something like that, so I didn't know it. Now, did it really shock me? No. When Rita died, I didn't really care, because I didn't like Rita all that much. I thought she was annoying with her, Dexter. So I wasn't really that upset about it. So, yeah, that's a crazy thing. Now, I do remember being in a poker tournament the week after season 4 ended, and I remember people talking oh, Dexter had a crazy ending. And that kind of stuck with me, but I had no idea what was going to happen. I just figured, whatever. I didn't know that Rita was going to die. I certainly didn't expect it, but I didn't really care about it, because Rita was freaking annoying. But I do plan on meeting Julie Bentz at Days of Dead in Chicago in November, if everything goes according to plan. So, what do we got here? You have a Travis Marshall dartboard. I do not have a Travis Marshall dartboard. But fun fact about that, so my roommate, who's very antisocial and usually comes home and goes right to his room, one night I'm watching Dexter with a friend of mine who was homeless, and he was just crashing at my place randomly. And my roommate comes in, he sees Colin Hanks on the screen. Is that Colin Hanks? And he was all infatuated with the fact that Colin Hanks was on screen. And then he went to sit down. I'm like, this is Dexter. He's about to die. It was the final episode of season 6. It's you usually just go right to your room when you get home, and now all of a sudden you're interested in what I'm watching. So just a fun little story. But me and my friend, that was homeless at the time, and he may be, I don't know now, would always mock that line. Is that Colin Hanks? So just thought I'd share that with you. New Blood had potential of being 3 or 4 seasons, with Dexter and Harrison being a killer duo and being on the run, and they wasted it in the last 20 minutes. T. Parker Evans, you're 100% right. The other part about Dexter New Blood that annoys me, and I'm sure Crazy Coffee Man he knows what I'm going to say now. Second episode of the season, they say that Hannah McKay died off screen. If there are factors preventing Yvonne Strahovski from coming back, I get it. But do you really have to kill her off? You could just say she disappeared or she was kidnapped or something like that to leave the possibility of that happening potentially. something happening with that. Hannah McKay, in my opinion, was a very important character, and just to kill her off like that really... my lips are getting really dry. Gee, what a surprise. Either my nose itches, my lips get dry, or I start messing with my eye. So far, my eyes aren't that bad. It's my nose itch once, and I keep getting dry lips. So, I'm really upset about the Hannah McKay stuff, and of course, the last 20 minutes of the series, which we don't know if they're going to come back with another season. They said they weren't. Then we heard rumors that they were. If they do, it won't be for another couple of years after they're done with Original Sin, or maybe after the first season of Original Sin. So who knows? Spoilers never help me, so I ignore them. Yeah, I don't mind spoilers. As Crazy Coffee Man knows, he was the reason why I watched the show Lucifer. And I knew pretty much everything that was going to happen. Maybe I didn't know how it was going to happen. And I kept watching the show because at least I had something to look forward to if I was annoyed with what was going on in the show. The more Eve, the better. The more Ella Lopez, the better. And the more Lucifer, the better. And the more of Lucifer calling Daniel Detective Douche. Speaking of Lucifer, T. Parker Evans, since you're in the chat, have you ever watched the show Lucifer? Let me know in the chat. So what else can I randomly talk about? I mean, I've talked about it. I'm just going to be repeating myself with my Dexter rambling. But if you have a specific question about it that you want me to answer, if I probably have already at some point, but that would probably be better than me just rambling to try to stall time to keep the stream going. I'm trying to think of anything else that they could do, but as far as Dexter goes, I mean, the obvious thing would do to be is to just retcon season 8. That way you can start after Maria LaGuerta dies. It's weird because to touch on LaGuerta, all they did was name a bench in her honor, and that was it. I think they could have done a lot more than just that, but that's my opinion. I don't know. New Blood introduced a lot of plot holes, like inconsistency with Harrison's age, Dexter using ketamine instead of N99. Yeah, you know why he did that, because the song or band that he has was named Ketamine. Harrison remembering Rita's death vividly, even though he was less than a year old. Yeah. New Blood had lots of holes, and maybe I overlooked them on my first watch. But I will say, Dexter New Blood, Season 1, Episode 5, Runaway, when they're at the conference, and then they say, Miami Metro Homicide, Angel Batista. I literally jumped off my couch at about 11:23 at night on a Saturday night, whatever time it was on a Saturday night, because I watched it right when I could, and it was at 11 o'clock Central Time. I jumped out of my couch going, yeah! I was actually excited for that particular moment because we got Angel Batista. I thought we were going to get more people, but no Quinn, no Masuka, no Matthews, no Hannah. I really thought Hannah was going to come back and be like killing Dexter because he disappeared on her. But didn't happen. But I still want them to retcon Season 8. Start over with Season 8. You can bring back Hannah. You can bring Deb back. You can have all the other characters except for Doak. See, Doak's is the one character that I need back for Dexter. Doak should have never been killed off, at least not in Season 2. Maybe later on, but I think it would have been cool. And I don't know if T. Parker Evans listened to my video on what I think should have happened to end Dexter, but it was a mess in terms of, like, I didn't structure my how I wanted it to happen, but I had bullet points of what I wanted to happen, but they were out of order. But my main thing was you'd have to retcon what happened at the end of Season 2 and have like a Dokes being incarcerated, but he wasn't going to snitch on Dexter because Dexter saved his life, and then just have that go on and on and on. And then finally we have a trial, and then they say we find the defendant, James Dokes, guilty, and then Dexter speaks up. I don't remember exactly how I worded it, but I'm like, Dexter goes, no, he's not. He's not guilty. I'm the Bay Harbor Butcher. I killed all these people. And then Dexter gets put away. And then while he's in jail, you get a visitor with... and everything pretty much happens like it happens, except for some differences in Season 8. But the main focus is what happens with Dexter and Dokes. he gets a visitor, and it's the character of Max. I can't remember what his last name was, but it was the guy that played Frank Lundy's boss. Actor was Jonathan Banks, who's of course famous for Mike Ehrmantraut in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. But Max, whatever his name, Max Adams, I think it was, he would be in there. He'd be like, "I got a job for you," and it would be like Dokes assembling this task force sort of thing. I don't know. Probably far-fetched, but I would really like that happen. And then we have a happy ending with Dexter, where Dexter's on this like island, and everybody comes. Dokes, Batista, Quinn, Masuka, and they like hug, and Dexter has a happy ending. But you know what? Honestly, Dexter's a tragic story, so it really can't have a happy ending. But that's how I ended it. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. All right, I haven't seen Lucifer, but it's on my watch list. I know that Amy Garcia, aka Jamie Batista from Dexter, is in it. She is, yeah. She's an interesting character. I'm not sure what your tastes are for TV shows, but I mean, is Lucifer my favorite show? No. Do I hate it? No. I would say it's towards the bottom 5 of my top 20, I think. Although on a rewatch, maybe I would like Lucifer a lot more because I don't have to. I'm really getting annoyed with taking notes during shows now. It's like being too much. But I'm going to start doing just bullet points and having shorter reviews of these shows, I think. But Lucifer is a really good show. I think it's good from beginning to end. The start of season 6 is a little off because of COVID restrictions. And season 3 is too long. But other than that, I think Lucifer is a really good show. And you have really good performances, especially by Tom Ellis in this show. So I would definitely check that one out if you have the time. Of course, there's so many other things that you have to watch, T. Barger. It's hard to stay current on everything. And I don't think that Lucifer overstays its welcome. I think it ends at a good time. They could have probably stretched it for 3 or 4 more seasons if they really wanted to, and then it would have got watered down. So I think Lucifer actually ended at a pretty good time, in my opinion. T. Parker Evans. When can you binge it? It goes great. Yes, Crazy Coffee Man would love if you watch Lucifer. He is a Lucifer fanatic. He's a fan of Dexter. Not quite a fanatic. Maybe he is, though. And he really likes Breaking Bad. Now, I'm having him watch Lost right now. And I think it might end up being better than Dexter. In my opinion, Lost ends better than Dexter. There's a lot more interesting things that happen in the show Lost. No spoilers if T. Parker Evans has seen Lost. But some people would disagree with that statement. Lost is about to come back to Netflix in July. I stress to anybody that watches the stream now or on a playback to rewatch Lost and open your mind up to that show again. Have you seen Barry on Max? It's like Dexter with a lot more comedy. I've heard of it. I have Max again now as of like a couple weeks ago. Off again, on again of mine. Like, I don't know if her daughter signed up. Like, they have my account, but somebody tied it to a Roku account, so I have access to Max, and I'm not paying for it. So, I guess I could watch it. It was something that I was interested in. I just don't know if it would be like it would hold my interest, but it probably would. But I got so much other stuff that I'm doing. Like, I think I'm getting stretched. Like, I got work, I got all these videos that I do, and I don't know if everybody knows, but like a lot of people do videos. Like, I'm doing a video for tonight. I have videos ready to go through July 12th, 13th, 14th right now. Something like that. And I try to stay ahead. What I think I want to eventually do, and I'm going to start incorporating this more on my channel, is I'm going to start doing reviews of these new releases that come out in the theater. I just think I don't do as good as some of the more popular people that do movie reviews, because I stutter through things, but I do it, whatever, it is what it is. But I want to start doing movie reviews to, maybe people will go to my channel eventually to hear my thoughts on a movie. And another thing that I've noticed that other people do that I don't do is they use bigger words than I do. Apparently my vocabulary is very limited. I don't know, I never used big words, I guess, growing up, where even just random people say random words that I've never heard of before to describe movies. It's like, God damn it, I should start looking into that more so I can sound more sophisticated on my channel. But that's the route I want to go eventually, because honestly, let's face it, my reviews of TV shows that have already aired are kind of generic. They're detailed reviews of me rambling. People probably want me to get to the point, but I can't really do that because I've got to explain everything else. That's how I'm wired, I guess. Lucifer is only on Netflix, as far as I know. I'm sure it's on Hulu. I think Hulu has every TV show. I'm just not as familiar with Hulu, but right now I actually have Netflix and HBO, or HBO. Wow, I said HBO. Netflix and Max, but I barely watch streaming. I try to see everything up. Now my eyes are bothering me finally, just a little bit. I believe Lucifer is still on Netflix, but like Dexter, they will drop it. I had to get the DVDs, and I'm glad I did. Well, Crazy Coffee Man, I believe pretty soon, in the next couple of days, if not already, Dexter is back on Netflix. So, just so you know, and I think it's time that you upgrade to a Blu-ray player. For crying out loud! Stop watching DVDs! Just DVDs are very hard to find for things, in my opinion. And I think it's time to upgrade to Blu-ray. Better quality. You can see better. Just to throw that out there. But then again, I spend money like crazy. I don't save money, so it's probably better that, you stay with what you're used to. Or I would just buy whatever. So buzzwords is the thing for movies, LOL. I do it sometimes only on my letterbox. Okay, yeah. I don't know. You're familiar with the channels that I watch. Ken and Ashley, Nick at the Lost River Drive-In, Cody Leach, Sean Chandler, Chris from 3C Films. They all use, well, especially like Sean, even Nick, they use like more elegant words that sometimes I have problems pronouncing because I don't say them enough. And it's like, I just say things like, I liked it, I loved it, and they say, I don't know. That's something I've noticed. It's like, if I talked better, if I talked more sophisticated, maybe I'd do better on my channel. But I mean, I'm happy with what I got. But obviously, I started this channel in 2018. I really started going in 2020 because what was happening for me in 2020 during the pandemic. So I work from home. My home is my office. And we actually never stopped working. And initially, when we went back to work, because we closed for like 2 weeks, but we still got paid. They put us 4 hours a day, but we got paid for 8 hours. So then I really started amping up my YouTube, where I just do a video to like make my coworker happy, so he'd like it and laugh about it. Like, there's a coworker that I work with that like doesn't finish watching TV shows. She'll like stop the show at the end, so she's never finished Breaking Bad. She's never finished Game of Thrones, which the ending of Game of Thrones, somewhat lackluster. Not terrible, but not very good either. But so earlier on in my channel history, I'd do videos that would make him laugh, and now it's more like I want to, my take on things is some people would say quality over quantity. I think the quantity leads to better quality. So once I get to 1,000 subscribers, then maybe I'll take a look at how I do things and try to improve things. I mean, I got really good equipment. I've got a freaking awesome microphone. Webcam, I think, is pretty good, but maybe there's a better webcam out there. I don't know. But the other webcams that are out there now are way wider, and I don't want my whole goddamn room being shown. I mean, I guess I don't really care, but I mean, I have a really nice movie collection that people could see if I did a wide angle one. But yeah, all right. Same. I grew up on DVD, but I refuse to go back to 480p, 1080p, or 4K is the way to go. Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody, but I mean, I feel like there's more things that are available on certain things, but maybe not, because it's like they'll come out with a Blu-ray and then they'll come out with a special edition Blu-ray. But I try to buy the 4K if I can now. But some movies, I guess you don't really need a 4K for. Like, who needs a 4K for a comedy? But I still would buy it if it was on 4K. I really want them to release freaking the Killers of the Flower Moon on 4K, which I don't know if it's going to be released anytime soon in the United States because it's on freaking Apple TV, which I hate this. I hate when physical media doesn't get releases. It just pisses me off. So I got to buy like a subtitled version of it on eBay for like $50, but it's owning it. I just got to turn the subtitles off and it's just fine. But I got Killers of the Flower Moon on eBay, and like the title is like in French on the cover box or the cover. Yeah, I would definitely recommend that Crazy Coffee Man get a Blu-ray player. But hey, what do I know? It'd be better. You got to upgrade, man. Got to have some fun with some higher definition things. In terms of shows I'm currently watching, I just caught up with The Boys, Pretty Little Liars, Summer School, and trying to watch more Apple TV Plus, since they focus on more on quality than quantity. You know, I'm a guy that hates Apple. I despise Apple. I despise iPhones. I'm sure Crazy Coffee Man can mention that, because I've talked to him about that, because he worked for AT&T. But Apple TV has some damn good shows. Hijack was Idris Elba. Not the best show, but it was interesting. Silo. I don't know what it is about Silo, but I really like Silo with Rebecca Ferguson, which season 2 should come out sometime, hopefully this year. Really enjoyed that. Invasion. It's good. Is it great? No, but I think it's really good. It's intriguing enough. So Invasion, Silo, Hijack. I think there's other things on there, but I'm not remembering them. I'm a huge Apple fanboy. I love The Morning Show, Ted Lasso, and Shrinking. I want to check out The Morning Show. I have an issue with getting Apple. Like, I can get it on my desktop, Apple TV, just fine. But so I have the app for it on my Sony TV, which I hate Sony TVs now. And every time I try to sign into it, it asks for my Apple ID. I've created an Apple ID before, but it doesn't seem to work when I scan the QR code or when I just enter a password in. So I have to have somebody that has an iPhone come over here to make it work. And then eventually it logs out, and I have to take that step again. So I thought about getting the Apple TV box. I actually was looking at that this week, but I don't know. I don't want to spend the $200 that it'll cost. Oh my. And here I am on an iMac. Yeah, well, I'm on my Dell desktop. Desktop? Yes, I hate laptops. Laptops and me don't get along. Although the laptop that I have right now, I've actually had it since 2019, and I haven't broken it yet, because usually I get mad and smash it or do something with it. So I don't know. Maybe I've changed at my ripe old age of 43. Am I 43 right now? God, I'm forgetting how old I am. I'll be 44 in less than 2 months. I'm here on my iPad. You know what? All you can be canceled. Where is it? I don't want to hear this iPad talk. That's just me being funny. It's what I do. Yeah, I'm an Android guy all the way. Got my Android right here next to me. Android phone with Tiffany Thiessen in the background. I don't think I'd ever, like, if somebody offered me the most expensive iPhone that was out there, that was like the most sophisticated and technological sound phone out there for, I don't know, however much it costed, like $1,000, I would be like, nope, don't want it. Not a fan. I don't know. I guess I just don't like change. I guess I'm a creature of habit. I don't like change. There's some changes that potentially could happen at my work, and I don't like change. I'm like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. Kind of am, actually. I hate change. Yeah, it's just me. I don't like change. That's why I watch the same TV shows over and over again. Dexter, Breaking Bad. Surprisingly, The Walking Dead's my favorite show of all time. But I think I probably watched the first 6 seasons of that at least 5 times. But 7 through 11 I've watched like twice. And Dexter and Breaking Bad I've watched like, I don't know now, at least 8 times for both those shows. I rewatch those shows like every year. And there's one year where I watched them twice because the homeless guy that lived with me was watching it with me just so I could talk about a show that I liked with him. Yes, anybody that's here on an iPad deserves to be canceled. Wow, is there a big delay on this? On my screen that I have the actual stream on, it just showed me showing the canceled thing, and that was like, seemed like 2 minutes ago, but oh well. So yes, JDev is definitely an Android guy. I will never have an iPhone. At this point, I don't even need a cell phone anymore. Like, I barely hear from anybody anymore. I can use Facebook Messenger. I can use Instagram, Snapchat. I hate Snapchat, actually. So, yeah. I'm trying to think what else I could talk about. I want to go long tonight for a long time, but I don't know. We might not be able to go that long tonight. We'll see. We'll see how long I can talk without like going brain dead. So one of the reasons why I stopped streaming, I haven't really covered this with either of you yet, so this will be some information. So I was having a lot of problems last year when I'd stream with like my brain just shutting off, kind of. Like, not to get political here, but when Joe Biden doesn't know what the fuck he's doing and just kind of, I was having those issues. And what was happening is I changed my vitamins, and the new one that I was taking wasn't wasn't a vitamin that was helpful for the brain. I didn't even realize it because the vitamins that I wanted, I had to go to the store to get, and I don't like going anywhere anymore. I'd rather have it delivered to my house. So I was having cognitive issues, and like I'd forget what I wanted to say, which still happens, but I feel like I'm a lot more sharper since I've been taking these new vitamins, which are called Alpha Men. I feel like they've made a big difference in me. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, I was having issues like streaming. What happens when I'm done streaming, I literally will just pass out because I'll be exhausted, like mentally exhausted for even like 2 hours. And that might be because I'm doing a stream by myself, trying to do all the talking, which I thought I was going to have a guest on tonight. My buddy James, who has a YouTube channel too. He, not a big channel. He's got like 40 some subscribers, but I've known him for a long time. And we're just going to talk about movies and whatnot on the channel. But he apparently his place is too hot. He doesn't want to sit out in the living room in the heat. So no James tonight, but maybe he'll join the stream. Never know. But shout out to James if he's listening to the stream. You should drop a comment in the chat so I know you're here, because I'll so far love you guys. T. Parker Evans and Crazy Coffee Man, my two favorite subscribers on my channel. Actually, both of you are mods on my channel as well, because I appreciate you both. I appreciate T. Parker Evans' letterbox scores and reviews, and obviously I appreciate the legendary Crazy Coffee Mints for his detailed Dexter, Breaking Bad, Lucifer, and Lost plot summaries that are on my channel. God, I should have him. If Crazy Coffee Man is in the resume building industry, I'm thinking about redoing my resume because I'm not sure what my next step is going to be. Not that I need to take a next step, but just kind of keeping my options open, and my resume is kind of plain. But it's been a while since I looked at it, so I don't know. But anyway, well, I guess I'm behind here. Okay, I recommend the Apple TV streaming box. It doesn't slow down and it's fast. Okay, maybe I'll buy it. It's possible. I probably will now. Now, with that, do you still have to pay for a subscription to it, but you get the first 3 months free, to my knowledge. Is that correct? I've only seen Dexter twice. First time back in 2015, the second time back in 2021, right before Dexter New Blood premiered. Might watch it again before Original Sin comes out. I mean, I could watch Dexter New Blood or Dexter again, but I mean, I've watched it so many times. I've already reviewed it twice on my channel. Yes, I don't know if T. Parker Evans knows this, but I've reviewed at least the first 8 seasons of Dexter on the channel before. It was just, I would do my videos at night, and literally they would be in the dark because I didn't like the light. The light would bother my eyes because my eyesight's terrible. With contacts, it's a lot better. I didn't have contacts back in 2020 when I was doing those Dexter reviews, so they were shitty. They were really quick reviews. I didn't go into details. I just touched upon the key plot points. But I try to hide all those videos just because, but maybe I gave some good insight. I don't know. I don't know if I need to watch Dexter again. Maybe the first season. I might watch the first season, because that's actually the season that I used to skip. The first couple of rewatches of Dexter, for some reason I would skip the first season. Why? I do not know. That is correct. Okay. Yeah, I might do that. I'm not an Apple guy, but they do have some good shows. My interest in the morning show is because Jennifer Aniston apparently gets naked. And I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but it's worth getting it just to see that, because Jennifer Aniston is a beautiful woman. You just don't appreciate my letterboxd review / rating for Scream 6. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's like holes in Scream 6 that were there because they were going to get addressed in another movie. I think Scream 6 is a brilliant movie up until the third act, and even the third act I like. I don't think Crazy Coffee Man is going to watch Scream 6 at all, so I can go into some spoilers here, but I feel like it's an awesome movie. I'm super entertained by that. Like, a lot of times when I put stuff on that I've already seen, if it's a movie that I can just doze off during and not typing notes for a review or something like that, I fall asleep during. There's movies that I really like that I keep my attention to. Passengers. I freaking love the movie Passengers, which I just found out. Well, I think I knew this before, but forgot about it. That Adele was talking to Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know if either. I think Crazy Coffee Man has seen Passengers. I don't know about T. Parker Evans, but Jennifer Aniston told her that's the movie she regrets doing. I don't know why. I think Passengers is a fucking awesome movie, but I don't know. Maybe I'm easily entertained. I'm really getting deep into Lost. I know Mark Plaringo comes on later. I wonder if anyone else will come up. From Dexter, I don't remember if they are. Yes, wait, no. I'm thinking of a character from Walking Dead. I was going to say Michael Cutlass comes up, but he's not a Dexter, he's on Walking Dead. For one episode, Michael Cutlass, the great Michael Cutlass, who played Sergeant Abraham Ford for a couple seasons of The Walking Dead. Yeah, what episode are you on, Crazy Kaufman? I know, it's probably annoying because my videos are out a month ahead of time, so right now, on my channel, I'm going to go to my videos that I already have uploaded, which actually everything I've recorded so far is uploaded. So right now I've got videos up until July 14th. And then episode 17 of season 1 is the most recent Lost video. That's the latest I've gone so far. So, I mean, if you wanna watch ahead in Lost, I don't mind. You know, I'm not going to talk about spoilers for episodes in the future because I know that you're rewatching it, and I try to let people know if anybody else actually comments on the videos besides you, which is surprising that that's happened so far. And other than my buddy Mike, who has a UFC reaction channel that I'll just put good shit, but Mike's not watching the videos. He's just doing that to add a comment. 1 second while I pick up my phone because it dropped. That took too long to pick up. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else, though, besides, God damn it, what's his name? Paul Bennett. If anybody else besides Paul Bennett shows up in Lost from Dexter. Maybe. If they are, it's like a minor character. But you know what? There's probably somebody that I'm forgetting about. Like, Lost is a show that I've watched only a couple times, and I don't remember it like the back of my hand. So, it's possible that somebody else shows up. Dexter, Lucifer, or Breaking Bad? Is that a question that you're asking me what I like more? In order, on my... wait, Dexter, Lucifer, or Breaking Bad? Oh, you're asking if anybody else will show up from either of those shows, I bet. I don't know. I don't remember. I guess I'll have to leave you in suspense. I mean, you've already looked at the cast list, haven't you? So you should know that by it now. But yes, unfortunately, Mark, the character that Mark plays, Jacob, does he not show up until season 5 or 6? So it's going to be a while, and there's a lot of episodes per season. But if you want to jump ahead with Lost and just kind of maybe write your crazy detailed episode summary and just have them saved as like a Word document, I don't know. I'd suggest it unless you want to take your time with it. I feel like it's better to take your time with a show like Lost, though, to let it resonate. That's what I want to do. That's why I'm taking my time with it. You know, I'm watching like an episode or 2 a week usually. Maybe, no, probably not even 3. 2 a week at max. So it's going to take me a while to finish it. All right. I just look at Scream 6 as a gimmicky movie since there's no payoff or substance, but it's decent at best, in my opinion. As a Gale fan, wasn't a fan of how they disrespected and sidelined her. I agree. I just feel like that with that third act, you have 3 killers. Crazy Coffee Man, if you don't want to be spoiled with anything to do with Scream 6, if you haven't seen it yet and plan on seeing it, don't listen to this. Cover your ears. Do whatever you have to do. So there's 3 killers in Scream 6. There's Detective Bailey, there's Ethan, and there's Quinn. They all say they're related to the killer from Scream 5. I'm forgetting his name. Jimmy. That's his name? Jimmy? That doesn't sound right. Randy Quaid's character. No. Jack Quaid's character. And to me, it doesn't make any sense, and there's no reason that they would do this, that a FBI agent and a really esteemed newspaper reporter, Richie, why did I forget his name? Unbelievable. I swear I'm doing really good mentally right now. Like, my brain seems like it's firing all cylinders, so I don't know. But anyway, there's no way that Gale Weathers or Kirby didn't know who Richie's relatives were. So I think they're part of some cult that was going to get explained in what was going to be Scream 7. It just didn't make any sense that they would leave that big plot hole in Scream 6. They did it on purpose to have another reveal in Scream 7. That's the route I think they're going to go. I don't know. I wanted to go to Whorehound this September in Ohio and ask Melissa Barrera that, because she's right now scheduled to be one of the guests, but it doesn't look like I can go. I'm sure Crazy Coffee Man, he already knows this, but I don't drive and I don't want to fly, so getting there would be a pain in the ass. I could do it, but it just costs too much money to just go see Melissa Barrera, to ask her that question. She might not even want to answer it. She might say, I don't want to talk about Scream 6. Let's talk about Abigail, which that'd be fine too. Just saw in translation and have commented on those before. What? Wait a minute. Did I pull up the wrong thing then? I thought I pulled up the right thing, but maybe I'm wrong. And no, my phone's not working. Wonderful. Maybe you meant that to say that you have a comment ready to go for it already, possibly. I don't know. Sorry, I meant if any characters from those shows show up, or a show comes up. Yeah, that's what I thought. Once I looked into it more, that's what I thought you meant, which actually is pretty obvious that's what you're referring to. I just thought it was at first I thought T. Parker Evans had put that comment, so I was confused at first. Yes, Richie. I'm trying to think, because there's a lot of people that show up on Lost. They have a lot of random characters that show up on the show, which I guess that's spoiling. We already know there's other people on the island, so at least Ethan thus far, you know. I can't remember. Crazy Coffee Man, I cannot remember for the life of me anybody else except for Mark Palingro's character right now that was on Lost. Breaking Bad characters aren't ringing a bell. There's not many characters in Breaking Bad, so I don't think there's any. We don't have Jonathan Banks in Lost, unfortunately. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see a scene with Locke and Jonathan Banks' character, Mike Ehrmantraut. That would be an awesome scene, I thought. Mike is so awesome. Locke is so awesome, and they would have a fun time. But I did see Terry Quinn. Well, Terry O'Quinn is what he goes by in Hollywood, but his name is actually Terry Quinn. He was on The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. They kind of did his character wrong, but it was great to see the character, well, Terry Quinn, otherwise known as Locke, on another TV show, because I haven't seen him for so long in something. And, of course, Richie. Wow, I can't believe I forgot that. It's weird how sometimes my mind will forget the randomest things, but I actually have a pretty good memory compared to a lot of people, but just sometimes I draw a blank on something, which I've talked about Richie millions of times, but just couldn't remember what his character was. So, T. Parker Evans, the big question is, have you seen the show Lost? While you're waiting to answer that one, I'm really looking forward to Scream 7, especially since Kevin Williamson is back to direct it. And let's be honest, he's not going to direct a flawed script. He's going to make it sure it's up to his standards. I think so. I don't know if he wrote the script. It might have been him just directing it, but somebody else wrote it, which in that case, I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know what to make of Scream 7. I honestly was over Nev Campbell. I liked the new cast better in Scream 6 a lot. I mean, yeah, Nev was missed, absolutely, but I mean, how many times can Sidney go up against Ghostface, you know? It kind of gets rinse, repeat sort of thing. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to chew some gum to help the moisture in my mouth. Make sure you're subscribed to JDEV TV. There's somebody else in the chat. I don't know who it is. Maybe I missed a chat from somebody. Well, there's somebody else on the stream. I don't know if there's somebody else in the chat. But it's interesting that Kevin Williamson is back because he doesn't direct films other than Teaching Mrs. Tingle. No spoilers, T. Parker Evans. There's a lot of misconceptions about the ending of Lost. A lot of people that complain about Lost complain about the ending, and they're not sure what happened, and they're wrong. So I implore people that, well, obviously, for anybody that watches the stream that had issues with Lost, or anybody that is watching the stream that I don't know about that's watched Lost, I would rewatch it. Comes back on Netflix next month just to see what's going on with it. It's on Hulu too, but Lost, in my opinion, is awesome. Where does it rank, you ask? Well, you didn't ask that, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So Lost, I would say it's probably my 5th favorite show of all time. Obviously, we have The Walking Dead. Is The Walking Dead perfect? Absolutely not. But for some reason, I just love the goddamn show. It's a show that I was super invested with. This gum is really helping. I might start slurring my words a little bit because I'm chewing gum, but it's helping with the moisture in my mouth, which is key, because then I can talk to a degree. Yeah, it's the quality-wise, probably isn't the best quality, but it's a show that I watched every time it was on, every time it was ready to air for, I missed the first season, but obviously I watched the first season after I saw the second season. But from the second season, I watched all 11 seasons of The Walking Dead. It's just a show that I got so invested with. So, and nothing tops the character of Negan, in my opinion. But yeah, I know you guys aren't Walking Dead fans, so I'll stop talking about The Walking Dead. Number 2, Dexter. Dexter as a whole. Dexter New Blood. I just really like the character of Dexter and the character of Hannah McKay, Frank Lundy, James Dokes. Everybody else, Masuka was good. Deb was good. So, Dexter would be my number 2. Number 3, scratch that. Breaking Bad. I gotta put the 2 shows that are rewatched constantly. Every year, freaking watching Dexter and Breaking Bad. I definitely need to take a break for at least 2 years for both those shows, but probably won't happen. But Breaking Bad, awesome show. I did watch some of that live, at least. I watched the final 8 episodes or whatever. They had the second half of season 5. I saw the second half of season 5 from after when Hank was on the toilet and saw the book by Walt Whitman. I watched the episode. God, did I watch that episode live? That might have been the first episode that I watched live. I don't know. I talked about it when I did my review. I all of a sudden don't remember. But and then number 4 would be Game of Thrones. A show that I started to watched the first season, not live, watched like 4 episodes in the second season. I found myself falling asleep during those second season episodes. And then I literally took a break for like a year. And then I got caught up with Game of Thrones before season 7 aired. And I watched season 7 live and season 8 live. And actually, I have some Game of Thrones videos that did very well when Game of Thrones was airing. I did a death predictions video for season 8, like the Long Night episode before it happened. And a lot of people watched that. I mean, a lot of views to some channels is 50,000. Sometimes my channel, 1,000 views on a video is, I'm happy with. What I expect, if I get a video that does 100 views, I'm happy. But lately, YouTube's messing with my view counts again. They're giving me like 30, 40, 50 views again. So, eventually they'll stop and I'll get 100 views again on every video. But Scream 7 will be something different where Sydney is afraid of Ghostface again because her kids are in danger. And we get to see the mother side of Sydney and see more of her marriage life as well. Yeah, that's possible. I don't know. For some reason, I'm not excited about Scream 7. I don't know what it is. That's why I don't talk about it that much. Like, I don't do shorts. I don't do videos on it. A lot of people will do videos just to get the views on Scream 7. I just, the whole debacle with Melissa Barrera and Spyglass, I don't know. At the moment, I'm not excited about Scream 7. Obviously, I'll be there day one to watch it, but I'm not super thrilled about it. Patrick Dempsey, he's coming back. They haven't. I'm surprised they haven't announced it yet. Mark Kincaid is coming back. Not really excited about that because honestly, I thought Kincaid was one of the killers, and maybe he will turn out to be one of the killers. Gail obviously will probably. I'm pretty sure she's confirmed to be in it as well. Well, they haven't confirmed, but she's already confirmed to be in it. It's like I don't know. I'm tired of seeing these characters. I like the whole Carpenter sisters and God damn it, Chad and Mindy. I like their dynamic. So, as far as Kirby goes, don't know what's going to happen with Kirby, but we all know one thing. Scream 7 needs to have Stu. That's all I got to say. Lumen. Julia Stiles is Lumen in Dexter's second love, and she knows him. Still alive. Yes, Lumen is still alive. I don't think we'll ever see Lumen in the Dexter universe again, unfortunately. So I have a YouTube channel that I'm watching right now because he's doing Dexter reviews, or well, actually he's doing reactions to Dexter, and he's on season 5 right now of Dexter. So if you want more Dexter content, you may want to check him out. I think I posted on my channel in the community page, but I think he does a good job. So if you want some more Dexter stuff, I'm going to put his link in the stream because Crazy Coffee Man and T. Parker Evans are both Dexter fans, so might as well post his channel in the stream if you haven't already seen it already. But he's on season 5 right now on Dexter, that's why it's... So the channel is Real Night, and I think he's got a good thing going. I feel like he's going to be really big one day. So yeah, and he's doing Dexter right now, and he's on season 5 of Dexter. Doing other stuff too. I don't watch his other stuff, but I'm watching every Dexter review. I'm putting too much time to Dexter. I really need to just stop watching Dexter for a year, but I can't help myself. But all right, what do we got? Top shows for me are Dexter, American Horror Story, at least the first 9 seasons, True Blood, and Shameless. Interesting. T. Parker, I never knew that you like Shameless or True Blood, actually. I feel like True Blood has the worst ending of any TV show of all time, just because it was just dumb. I should preface my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And Shameless, I thought was terrible. Like, I'm obviously, you probably know that I'm watching Shameless right now again for the second time. And I'm on season 11 finally. So I got 11 more episodes left to go in the series. And Shameless was really good. And then it's just gotten... Season 10 actually wasn't as bad as I remember, but season 11 I'm already annoyed with. But that was obviously things that were filmed during COVID. Aside from Scream 5, I tend to get annoyed with. So, I don't know. But yeah, check out Jabril's channel. I might be butchering his name. It's like D-B-R-I, Jabril. I think he's got some good content. Well, Scream 6 already jumped the shark with the reality in terms of immortal characters, so might as well bring back Stu, which I'd be fine with if the execution works. Absolutely. Real Night, I'll give it a go. Yes, you should. Just check it out. I mean, he's doing reactions, so you can see him reacting to the show, and he's got some really good insight. He's better than me. I may know more about the show than him, but he can articulate things better than I can. Hey, I said articulate. I don't usually say that word. But, yeah, I think he does a good job. And, I'll give people credit when they do good content. So definitely check him out. He's very smart when it comes to the show, and I enjoy that, and I give him props for that. So I pushed the idea on him we should do a live stream after you're done watching Dexter just to talk about the show. I mean, I might dumb it down, though, because maybe I won't be as smart as him in articulating things, but I feel like, I know a lot about Dexter. I've watched the show so many goddamn times that we hopefully would have a really good, interesting stream with awesome people that have watched the show, like T. Parker Evans and the legendary Crazy Kaufman in the show. I didn't hit the ending of True Blood. I actually didn't mind it. Shameless ending sucked. The show should have ended at season 7 or season 9 when Fiona left. Well, obviously. When Fiona left the show, it got... it really took a hit. I loved Emmy Rossum as Fiona in that show. And watching season 10, I can already see like they've really really down. Like season 10 hardly had any nudity in it. I don't think they had any nudity. If they did, it was really quick and brief. And like Shameless used to push the window. Like in season 1, you have a chick that's playing a high school student having sex with this guy's dad. You know, when Frank is essentially not really forced, but kind of forced to have sex with Karen because she's mad at Lip. So yeah, spoiler alert, Crazy Coffee Man. You should watch Shameless. You might like it. Just a thought. I mean, I feel bad, like, because I recommend a lot of stuff, but I feel like you should at least, if you're watching my content, you should watch somebody that puts better quality into their content, because I'm just rambling when I do my stuff. And I say reaction in my title because it is my reaction after watching the episode, but it's not my live reaction. But I think Jabril, I think it's pretty good. My opinion, though. Okay. Yeah, Shameless. Season 11 is, I don't know. I'm trying to remember what happens in True Blood, but I know, like, all the characters that I like end up dying. Like, well, I don't want to say anything because that could be a show that Crazy Coffee Man might watch someday. Probably not, though. It's possible I might start doing reviews again on True Blood, because I actually started doing a True Blood review series on the channel. But then I think when I got to season 3, I've already seen the show once. And I just wanted, like, I want constant content, so that's why I pick a TV show and just review all the episodes. And I think season 3, episode 1, I want to say I kept falling asleep. Or maybe it was season 2, episode 1. And, like, I had a tough time. I was watching it for, like, 4 days straight. I kept dozing off during all the episode, 4 days in a row. Yeah, Fiona's my favorite character. I felt after season 7 the show became too political, especially in the final season where they had to acknowledge January 6th in the finale. Yeah, Shameless does a lot of things, but that final season, the final episode was a clusterfuck. If you go to my channel and you type JDev TV Shameless series finale rant video, which you may have already saw, but I did do a reaction after watching the Shameless series finale video, or series finale. I did my rant video. They have a lot of loose ends in the show. They don't really have anything closed. You have Liam is the only person that really likes Frank at the end of the show, and he doesn't have any closure of what happened to Frank. Frank becomes Mary Poppins, and we have no Fiona, which apparently Emmy Rossum was pregnant, but they could have had her on a Skype or Zoom or whatever type of meeting thing that you could have had her at least on that. No matter how mad she was at the people behind the show, you could have had Emmy Rossum back, I feel like. If she was unavailable, you could have postponed the show. So it just pissed me off. I hate the Shameless series finale. True Blood was just terrible. Shameless has better quality, but it pissed me off. Where True Blood like got bad and bad and bad. I remember at the beginning of the season, Tara dies. I'm spoiling it now. Then she comes back as a vampire. I remember Bill dies before the finale. Then Sookie doesn't have a memory anymore. And then you have the one religious chick, the blonde. I can't remember her name, but she's in the place where Eric and Pam are. And yeah, I can. It's been a while since I've seen True Blood in full. I think the last time I watched True Blood was 2014, and then I did my review series for the first season ish, and that's all as far as I got. So pretty much, Frank, Kevin, Veronica, Mickey, and Carl made seasons 10 and 11 watchable. I mean, obviously Frank's good. I felt that Kev and V are pointless in the final couple of seasons because really they have to have like other arcs to complete their story because the Gallaghers and them really aren't a thing anymore without Fiona going over there to have conversations with V or Kev. I'm surprised that the character of Kev went bald in season 11. I didn't know he was losing his hair, but that was kind of a change. It's just, I don't know. I'm really upset with the ending of Shameless. And then what the hell? So you have Debbie go from Claudia to Julia. So the mom, she goes to daughter. Then she ends up going with Sandy Milkovich. And then right before the end of the show, I don't even remember the chick's name. She hooks up with this other female. And they're going to go off together. Like, it just, all this shit that just randomly gets thrown together on Shameless pissed me the fuck off. Wow, I'm swearing about a TV show on my stream. I'd love a prequel Shameless show focusing on young Frank and his family. Probably happen. They like to reboot everything, so, well, it's not a reboot, but it probably will happen. I think they should do a Shameless movie, like a Showtime that airs on Showtime or whatever, the Showtime, Paramount, whatever, where you have like 5 years after Frank Gallagher's death and the whole family gets together, including Fiona, and you have a proper finale of the show. Will it happen? Probably not, but that's what I'd like to happen, where everybody comes back for a 2-hour movie. They close up some loose ends. You find out who owns the alibi. Is it Carl and his cop friend? I don't know, but it left way too many loose ends on the show. Frank's family wasn't really explored much in the show. I mean, his brother is Ian's dad and Frank's twin brother. Yeah, there's some things they could explore, and I wouldn't be surprised if they come back with Shameless for that particular reason, because it's a show that was very hot on Showtime, or very popular, and they could easily milk it for a couple more seasons. Ooh. Frank's twin brother, yes. I'm surprised that you like True Blood. I mean, the whole horror aspect of True Blood is good. And I'll admit, the show had some really good moments on it. Had some good nudity, which is always a plus on things. Horror element. You had the character of Eric, which I think was really awesome. Sookie Stackhouse, played by, of course, Anna Paquin. You had Lafayette. Rest in peace, Lafayette. Good actor. Died way too young. You had Jason Stackhouse. Oh, now I remember the character's name. You had Andy Belfour. You seen Jason Stackhouse? There's Stackhouse. Yeah, it's an interesting show, but it had a lot of ups and downs, is what I'll say about True Blood. But I don't know. Maybe my opinion would change if I rewatch it. I don't know. You know, if you're interested in rewatching True Blood, I might rewatch it and do reviews on my channel just because I know somebody that'll actually watch it. But I don't know. You don't have to, though. I might as well continue with the other shows that I like since I was going on. And so we obviously started with The Walking Dead, Dexter, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Lost. Number 6. See, my first 5 I know. The next 5 are kind of interchangeable depending on what show's current and I'm watching. Better Call Saul is really good, and I'm actually rewatching that right now. Shameless was in the top 10, went out of the top 10, but now I'm watching it again. I really enjoy the first 7 seasons of The Shameless. And season 8 is really good, actually, until, well, not really good, but it's good. But then the end of season 8 is where, like, everybody leaves the show that they don't have explanation for. Like, Ian's boyfriend, the trans guy or girl, he leaves the show without explanation. There's a couple other people that leave the show that really pissed me off about season 8 of Shameless. And then season 9, obviously, Fiona leaves. You don't get much with the 2 chicks that live together. Their names were, I can't remember the names, but the 2 chicks that lived in Fiona's apartment building, they don't get much closure, so I don't know. So Shameless probably is back in the top 10 just because it's current. Big Bang Theory, obviously. Let me see if I have a document of my favorite shows recently. Just so I have some reference material. Bear with me a second here. That's surprising that I don't have a document of my favorite TV shows. That's got to be wrong. There's no way that I do not have a document. Well, I guess I don't. Wow. I just found my Dexter ending document where I just put a bunch of thoughts together, but they weren't really in order. Just random things that I wanted to happen here and there. It's like a whole essay. No, like 10 essays. Holy crap. This is a lot of pages. Yeah, you should check. If you have time, T. Parker, you should listen to that video. Maybe you have already. I don't know. If you go to my Dexter playlist on my channel, it's one of the most recent videos that were posted. Not the most recent, but one of the most recent videos that are on there. And it's like my ending of Dexter. It's something interesting. But again, it's kind of sloppy because I have so many ideas, but they're not in order. They're this idea here, this idea here, this idea here. Anyway. What do we got here? I love Sam, Jason, Lafayette, Pam, Eric, and her sailor mouth. Okay, Sam Merlot, Jason Stackhouse, Lafayette, Eric, Pam. Eric and Pam were good. Jason Stackhouse annoyed me at times because he seemed kind of a dumbass, but I don't know. Lafayette was awesome. Nelson Elias, that might not be how you pronounce the name, but man, that sucked. And there was rumblings of True Blood coming back, and then he died, and now I think they came back with some kind of audiobook on it or something like that. But I definitely liked Eric. He was one of my favorites. Sookie, obviously. I liked... Who's the tall, buff guy? What's his name? Is it Alcidius? No, the guy that was the wolf on True Blood. I can't remember his name all of a sudden. What the fuck was his name? It's like tall and a handsome guy too. But I can't remember his name on True Blood, and I can't remember the actor's real name. But I thought he was a good character, but he kind of left the show suddenly. But I liked his character. I just like that actor. I can't remember his freaking name though. Anyway, whatever. Oh well. Karen, Sheila, Mandy just leave. Whatever happened to Ethel and Sandy? So Sandy, there might have been characters that had the same name. Yeah, it sucked that Karen left because I actually liked Karen's character. She's a little batshit crazy, but she was interesting. She kept the show interesting for sure. Oh, Crazy Coffeeman has seen True Blood before, apparently. Or maybe not. Sheila, my first watching of Shameless, I didn't like Sheila's character. Second time that I'm watching now, obviously it's been a while since I've seen those episodes, but I like Sheila a lot. And then Mandy, yeah, Mandy Malkovich, she had that boyfriend that we're led to believe kind of abused her a little bit, possibly. And then she just leaves. She does come back for one episode as the escort, and then leaves again, so that was kind of shitty. And then whatever happened to Ethel and Sandy. Sandy Malkovich, she just leaves. I can't remember why, but her and Debbie eventually break up. Ethel, was that the old lady that owned the laundromat? Or was that... I can't remember who Ethel was. You'll have to let me know. Yeah, we'll look forward to your Dexter video. I know. I talk about Dexter a lot on the channel. And yet the video, again, structure-wise, I should have organized it a little bit better. But I kind of like to get my content out. But I didn't think about it long enough. Like, this is kind of all over the place. But I think my general idea is good, but it probably wouldn't be able to work because you have to retcon one event that happened in Season 2 with Lila not killing Dokes, and it doesn't work. But I don't know. I like the idea. I like my happy ending aspect of the show. If they had a face-off, Pam with her sailor mouth against, or Moth with, against Deborah Morgan, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen True Blood, but I think Deborah swears a lot more because she just... Fuckity, fuck, shit machine. Yeah, Deb would win. Joe Magli. I can't remember how... Oh, that's why I couldn't remember his name, because I can't pronounce it right. I don't know how to pronounce it. Joe Magliano, I don't know. But Alcide, is that how you pronounce his character's name? Yeah. I liked his character. I don't know why, but I just remember liking his character. But he, like, randomly got killed off. Spoiler alert, Crazy Coffee Man. And it, like, pissed me off. But at least Eric lived. No, haven't seen True Blood. I mean, there's good moments, and then there's bad moments. Oh, and I love Jimmy Steve with Fiona. Abso-fucking-lutely. Jimmy Steve was freaking awesome. I feel like the show dropped in quality, too, once Jimmy Steve left the show. Justin Chatwood. Is that his name? I think I'm getting it right. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, the Dutch... Well... Yeah, I remember. Okay, yes, Ethel. Okay, yep, I remember. Yeah, she ends up with that basketball player guy, and then they just go off together, and that's it, if I remember correctly. What was the lady's name at the laundromat that Fiona got the laundromat for, and then she had her put in the home? I can't remember her name. I just watched the season like 2 seasons ago, which would have been like a couple of months ago, but whatever. She's old, so whatever. I guess I forgot it. I think she's a good character, though. It's surprising that I don't remember the name. There's a lot of characters, though, in Shameless that just kind of disappear without really good explanation, in my opinion. And I feel like that's a little bit sloppy. At least kill them off. Oh, Etta. Yeah. How could I forget? Edda, I wrote you a check. I'm not going to cash it. Oh, Edda. Yeah, I feel like they kind of like I thought. So rewatching it, I thought something eventually happened to Edda, but no. Fiona just has her put in a home, and then she's gone. We don't know what happens to Edda. Obviously, she'll eventually die because she's old, but yeah, I just don't like when characters on Shameless just disappear at random times, and it's like you get attached to these characters and you don't know what their fate is. Like I feel like the finale of Shameless, like you had to have people come back on the show. People needed to come back on the show. You couldn't have just. You shouldn't have ended the show with nobody coming back. Like I thought all these characters were going to come back. I thought Sheila was going to come back. I thought Karen was going to come back, and I thought Jody, was that his name? The guy that had that sung the "My Pleasure, My Power, My Pain" song. I think it was Jody. I thought for some reason they were all going to come back. I thought for sure Fiona was going to come back, and I was heavily disappointed during the end of Shameless. They also just killed off Carl's psycho-ass girlfriend from season 8. Yeah, they did. Then they had that one girl that Carl was kind of seeing that her family lived in the van in the parking lot. I thought her character was good. And then you had the one character that he was dating that was, she was the daughter of the cop guy. I can't remember his name, or her name even. And like Carl was trying to be all ghetto towards her and like, you fine, and then when he's the ghetto Carl version, and they just kind of leave the show, which I thought her dad should have stuck around because that's one of the inspirations for Carl to be a cop. I had a huge problem with COVID taking a huge part of the final season and being the thing that finally killed off Frank. I mean, come on. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Anything to do with COVID, it really pisses me off. I don't know what it is. It's like a trigger word to me, like anything to do with COVID. And for Shameless to really incorporate COVID into the final season of Shameless, it does make me mad. I understand why they did it, but still, it's like, I don't know. I have issues, especially with the final 2 seasons of Shameless, but not so much season 10 anymore. I can look past season 10. But yeah, see, Shameless just, it was so good at one point. Wasn't never my favorite show, but it was so good at one point, and then just kind of dropped. And then season 11 completely dropped the ball. But maybe I'll like it. I'm only on one. I'm on episode 2, the next one I watch, so maybe I'll like it more. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but it feels like I have no padding in my chair all of a sudden. I'm going to take a very quick break just to stretch around. Or stretch. I like season 10, especially Ian and Mickey's wedding. That was a fun episode. Yeah, I just reviewed that episode on my channel. I think I gave it a 9.7 out of 10. It was good. So Kev proposes to V in that episode, and I believe they never actually officially get married in season 11. If my memory serves me correctly, they never actually get married. That's I don't know. Me and Kev, of course, but oh well, it is what it is. Other than Hannah and New Blood, I can't think of any other character that has been killed off screen, any other TV show. Yep. Or you're led to believe a character got killed off, and they're usually the killer. So it irritates me. All right, so I'm gonna step away for like 2 minutes because something's wrong with my seat or something like that. It's like hurting my ass, oddly enough. So I'll be back. Just give me a second. Maybe not. Alright, I guess I don't know how to work my stream here anymore, so we're going to stop camera for just a moment. Alright guys, again, I'll be back in a couple minutes. All right, break time's over with. Sorry about that. Just had to step away and get a little bit more relaxed. All right, so Kevin V did get married in season 11, but they did it at their bar again. I don't remember that. Okay. Just look, my comment stream is from Jake Bro. This happens to me a lot. Okay. I'm not sure what you mean by that. So, I feel like I want to do a lot more with this stream, and I thought one of my buddies was going to be on with me so we could kind of bounce things off each other, and that obviously hasn't happened. Crazy Coffee Man, I feel like what you should do on your little iPhone, you should download the Letterboxd app. Letterboxd is like so when you watch movies, you should rank them, like give them a score. So you just hit the plus sign, type the movie, and then you can rank it out of 5. It's something that's very interesting. Obviously, you have a wide variety of films that you probably watched, from movies from, a long time ago to new releases. It'd just be interesting to see what your thoughts are. And then you can write a really detailed review about the video or the movie. I think that would be something that you'd like. But Letterboxd with a D at the end, I think you'd like it. So, it was a quick random moment from then a big thing like their fake wedding in season 1. Yeah, I don't remember it at all. But again, I've only watched season 1 once, and it was at the beginning of 2022, so I must have forgotten it. I remember the finale very well, because I remember being, so irritated about, there's so many loose ends. Now, I know Cody Leach says that's good, that's fine. I'm like, why would you end a show with lots of loose ends? It doesn't, unless you're thinking about coming back with, a made-for-TV movie or something like that, but it is what it is. If you like it, you like it. I just hate it. But maybe my opinion will change, but I have a feeling it won't. Just stuff that was filmed during COVID, I get annoyed with. Yes, Letterboxd. Got it. Yep, you should do that. It'd be interesting. And make sure you check out T. Parker Evans' stuff, because he gives good reviews. But you can, paragraphs and paragraphs of reviews if you want for something. I'll read it if it's something that I'm interested in. And typically movies before 1980 I don't care about, but maybe I'll change my tune on that stuff. Obviously, there's a few exceptions. The original Star Wars, well, the first movie that was filmed Star Wars, not the Phantom Menace. Rocky, although I don't like the first Rocky as many people do, which is very surprising. So, yeah, it's a fun fact. I don't really like the original Rocky. I feel like it's too boring and too plain for me. Yeah, I don't know. Whoop. Letterboxd. Yes, I love Letterboxd. One of my favorite things to look at now. Just scroll through people's scores of movies and then be irritated when T. Parker Evans gives Scream, what is it, 2.5 or 3? I can't remember what you scored it now. But, your gripes with Scream 6 are completely valid. I just really love the movie. It's one of those movies that I really love. And my opinion has yet to change on it. I know there are flaws, but I feel like those flaws would have been answered to make the movie much better. But maybe not. Maybe they just were really sloppy with the ending. So, all right. So let's go some other route. So things that I'm looking forward to. Okay, 3 out of 5. You know what? 3 out of 5 is not a bad score at all. Usually a 3 out of 5 for me is a movie, and I need to make a ranking system on Letterboxd. But the thing with me is, if you notice, I change my scores a lot. Because my out-of-theater reaction score, once I sit with it for a while, I end up usually either upping it a 0.5 star or lowering it a 0.5 star. Except with the movie Tarot. I gave Tarot a 3 out of 5, and I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? I don't know. Sometimes I liked how the movie looked. I wasn't expecting much. I'm like, this was good. And I thought about it more. I'm like, nah, it wasn't that great. So I do change my scores a lot, so I don't know if you'd noticed that, but just keep that in mind. I try to get them close to what I think they'll end up being, but, I change my mind on things. But I want to go over what my plans for future videos are that are more focused videos that are going to take time. Now, I know a lot of times I ramble and my video lengths are too long, but what I want to do for my birthday, which is on August 2nd, the great Wes Craven's birthday. So I'll be watching Scream 2 on that day, and I'll be going to the club early in the afternoon to kind of, have a few drinks. But what I plan to do, but I'll record it before my birthday, I'm going to redo my top 100 favorite movies of all time list. And I want to do that video for my birthday, I think. Because last year for my birthday, I did my favorite movie for each year of my life. And I want to redo my top 100 favorite movies of all time list. So obviously the video is going to be long, but with how many movies I'm going to talk about, I'm going to shorten how much I talk about each movie for probably 10 seconds if I can. But I like to ramble and mix sentences together. But it is what it is. But I think that'll be a good video to do. I obviously need to make some changes. The last favorite movies of all time thing I did on my channel, I did a series where once a week I did a video. So number 100 through 91, then it was like 90 through 81. So I did it that way. This one, I want all the movies on one video just because it's just easier for people to watch the whole video in one sitting rather than come back to the channel. So that's what I want to do for my birthday. That's a special video I have. Not necessarily 100%, but I'm going to take the time to probably do it because that's important to me. And then on July 6th, I haven't recorded it yet, but I need to start watching all my Sylvester Stallone movies. I want to do a Sylvester Stallone ranking. Now, obviously, I know everybody might not be a fan of Sylvester Stallone. Like, he's an old actor. Nobody really cares about him anymore. But from the time I was like 5 years old, when I started watching movies and remembering movies, I've always loved Sylvester Stallone. So since it's his birthday that day, is he 79 or 80? One of the two. I want to do a ranking. Obviously, I haven't seen all of his movies, but the ones that I want to do, like 30 movies, just rank 30 movies of Stallone. So I'm going to have to rewatch a bunch of Stallone movies that I don't necessarily like Judge Dredd. And actually, when I was a kid, fun fact, I actually liked the movie Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Haven't watched it for a while, but hang on a sec. Be back in 1 second here. I do own it, so whenever I'm ready to do this, I'm going to start rewatching all the Stallone movies. Not all of them, but I'm going to do 30 in the video. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to include. All the Rockies, that's a definite. All the Rambos, that's a definite. Fun fact, well, I'm saying fun fact way too much. I haven't seen the first 3 Rambo movies. I've seen the one from 2008 and the most recent one. So I got a couple first-time watches to do on that, but I think that's what I'm going to do for July 6th, to have my top ranking of Sylvester Stallone movies. It won't be all of them. I'm not going to include the 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies that he's in because he's really not in those. He's in it for like 5 minutes total. All right, let's catch up on the chat here. I gave Tarot a 0.5 out of 5. I was on my phone throughout the movie since I don't need to watch the screen to understand what's happening. I was entertained to a degree with Tarot. I don't know. Sounds good. Scream 2 better be on that list. It will. And actually, I'm like thinking about seriously altering my favorite movies of all time, and need to really focus on the movies that I really like to rewatch. Like movies that I think are excellent movies, but I don't really watch them a lot. Maybe I need to focus on the movies that I really like to rewatch over and over and over again, which means Scream 6 is going to go off the list. So, yeah. Scream 2 will definitely be on there. Scream 6 will definitely be on there. And a bunch of other movies will be on that list. So that's what I want to do for my birthday. And then obviously my Sylvester Stallone movie ranking video. 2 videos that I'm really excited about. They're very time consuming, and I'm kind of being pulled in a bunch of different directions, but that's what I want to focus on for the next 2 months to get those videos done, which hopefully I do have Wednesday off, so that'll give me some time to work on other projects and at least compile a list. I'll probably work on my top 100 that day, like to get the list, like reorganize it to what I want it to be. And then the Stallone thing, I might, after the stream, start watching those movies that I need to rewatch. Actually, the Rocky movies, I probably don't need to rewatch them because I just rewatched all those in preparation for Creed 3, which I don't have to include because he's not in it. But that's going to be a fun video. Hopefully that'll do good on the channel, but probably not. But that's okay. I still want to do it. I don't care if a video doesn't get views, it doesn't get views. I just want to do the video because that's what I want to talk about. Lucy is one I love to rewatch. Okay. Scarlett Johansson. I own it. I saw it in the theater. I don't recall if I've watched it since I saw it in the theater. I remember my ex Kim and me went to that. One of the last movies we went to, and then she stopped wanting to go see movies. Like, we dated in 2009 and 2010, and then she and me just had fights and stuff. Not bad fights, but just weren't getting along. And then we rekindled our romance in 2014, and we went to like 3 movies in 2014. And then she became lame and didn't want to go to movies anymore, and all she wanted to do is go to the bar and drink. I'm not a guy that likes to go out drinking because I'm very picky. There's only certain drinks that I'll drink. Captain, regular Captain, and Pepsi. And I like Captain Orange Vanilla Twist, but it's discontinued, so no places have it except for one place that knows that I'm regular. But so I don't really like going out to drink. I mean, I can drink a lot of liquor, but I try not to because it's really not healthy. And I don't know, but not the fan of going out to drink, in my opinion. Any Halloween films on that list? Well, I mean, I want you to watch the video. I know you will. Yes, but not the one you're expecting. I'm not putting John Carpenter's Halloween on the list. Honestly, I don't really like the original Halloween. It bores me. I feel like Donald Pleasance is really good in the movie. In my opinion, the kids are... okay, I'm picking on kids here, so that's not saying much. But the kids' acting is terrible. And Jamie Lee Curtis is very bland and boring. Is she probably supposed to be, though? But the movie is just boring. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like the original Halloween. I put it second on my ranking, but I don't really like it all that much. Yeah, Halloween 4. Love Halloween 4. That movie is... other than Michael Myers' mask, that is almost a perfect movie. Well, okay, that's a bold statement. It's not a perfect movie, but a perfect Halloween movie. I gotta check my phone here. Bear with me a second here. Canceled for not liking greatness. I'm sorry, T. Parker. I just don't, I don't know. It's just, I understand some things are good with the film. I think it looks good. It has the atmosphere. The score of the movie is really good. But the rest of it, I think, is overrated. And I don't want to offend any Halloween fans, but I'm doing that. I'm not trying to do that. But for me personally, I honestly, if I'm going to watch a Halloween movie, I'm going to put on Halloween 4. The Return of Michael Myers. As you can see in my backdrop there. Love me some Halloween 4. But, I don't know. And then I think I probably want to watch Halloween Kills. Those are probably my 2 favorite go-to Halloween movies. They might not be the best Halloween movies in other people's opinions, but those are the most fun that I have with that franchise. I think I'm going to rewatch all the movies for another ranking this year because I've let Halloween Ends kind of sit here and see what my thoughts are on that now, and rewatch freaking Halloween 3, the Season of the Witch, again to see if my opinion has changed on that one, which it probably won't, but 4 was my introduction to the franchise when I was a kid. It may have been mine. I don't know for sure. I don't remember what movie I watched first in the Halloween franchise, but I know the last one I watched was Season of the Witch because I could never find it. And I know why now, because Michael Myers isn't in the movie. I have used huge nostalgia for Halloween 4. Honestly, I think it's the best Halloween movie. I really believe that. I feel like John Carpenter's Halloween just kind of is boring, but it's a movie made in 1970 where, Part 4 was made in 89? I don't remember what year now. I think it is 89. Okay, so where is 4 on your list? You have nostalgia for it, but is it number 2? Kills is your 3rd favorite. Wow. So we got John Carpenter's Halloween. We've got potential. You probably like Halloween Ends number 2 and then Kills. I already know. That's what you're going to say. And, that's okay. I'm glad that you like some movies. And I don't know. My opinion, I'm not sure what my opinion is on Ends anymore. Gonna rewatch it. I know I like the end of it, but the whole I can't remember, Corey Cunningham. No, is that right? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what my opinion is. I know it was in my bottom 5, no, bottom 3 or 4 last time, maybe. Wow. Okay. Canceled. You know what? That's okay. I'm not sure why it's ranked so low, but I mean, okay. I'm surprised I don't remember such a hot take, but maybe I'm just losing my mind. Although I feel like the vitamins that I'm taking now are helping with that, but I don't know. Wow. Got me depressed, T. Parker Evans, with your Halloween 4 talk, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and maybe someday I'm like, you know what? I don't like Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers anymore. I'm going to put that bottom of my list. I don't know. We'll see. I've always liked Halloween 2 a lot, actually. That might have been my introduction to the franchise. I don't know for sure, though. I can't tell you what was my favorite or my introduction. I know that with Friday the 13th, which was the horror franchise that I was raised on, Part 4 was my introduction. After that, I think I watched Part 3, and then I don't know. Always a big Jason fan. Even though I don't talk about the Friday the 13th franchise that much. Always liked him. Always would have dreams about him. He'd always trip and fall like Ghostface does, and then I'd get away. But I was never like scared of my dreams. Like my nightmares are like comedy to me. Like I know I'm dreaming, I know I'm gonna get away, and he trips and falls over something. It's like getting chased around by Special Officer Doofy. Yeah. Alright. Ends kill. What? Wait a minute. Okay, so 1 ends kills 3, 18, 20, 4, 6, 2, 5. Resurrection. Okay, Resurrection, last place, we agree. I think, so going back to my original viewing of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, seeing that movie in the theater for the first time, I really enjoyed the first act-ish of it with the dream sequence. I thought that was intense as hell with, Michael chasing Laurie in the hospital and then him stabbing that nurse or receptionist or whatever she was. No, it was a nurse, I believe. Like, I don't know how many times. That was all intense. And then her going outside to that one guy and, yeah. And then it was a dream. And then you have it's got a lot of psychology involved in it. I've come around a lot on they used to be at the bottom of my list too, but Nick at the Lost River Drive-In with his love of the movie, I've come around a lot on it. It's getting closer to the middle of the pack on my ranking. I think it's 5th from the bottom last time I checked, although I don't remember what it was. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't know if this is the newest updated version of it or not. Documents pull up. Okay, what do we got here? My ranking of the Halloween films. So we have Halloween Resurrection in 13th place, Halloween 5, 12th, 11th, 27th. I don't know. There's not spaces in this for some reason, but that's my last official ranking of the franchise. Sorry about the lack of spaces that were in this, but it is what it is. So, who knows? Be interesting to see what my thoughts are on Halloween Ends. Now, after sitting on it for over a year, if it's still at the bottom, or maybe I like it as much as other people. Because I know other people have slowly but surely ended up liking it a little bit more. So, I don't know. Trying to think if there's anything else that I want to cover in this. And I appreciate you obviously being in here, T. Parker Evans, and of course the legendary Crazy Coffee Man, who must have stepped away for a second because I only see 2 people in the chat right now. Unless he's in there and T. Parker stepped away, which I guess could be the case. Can't believe you Halloween 4, man. What is up with that? Oh, well, it is what it is. I think I want to do another ranking of Friday the 13th, actually, because I switch back and forth with some of those movies in the franchise, so that'd be another ranking I'd want to do. Obviously, I'd want another movie to come out in that franchise, but who knows if that'll ever happen at this point. And I think on the channel, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think I'm going to do my very first Aliens franchise ranking. I own all the movies other than the new one that's about to come out. I've seen the first two recently. Now, I might have seen the original two when I was a kid, but don't remember them. And I watched the first, 10, 15 minutes of 3, and then turn it off. But I'm going to rewatch them all in time for Romulus and give a ranking of the Aliens franchise. Which I thought, in rewatching watching the first one and the second one, they weren't as good as everybody says they are, but maybe my opinion will change. Okay, Crazy Coffee Man's still here. Just wanted to check. Might be gearing things down here because I'm running out of things to talk about. I'm getting a little, not necessarily tired, but I think I have somebody at my house right now waiting to come inside, but that's fine. He can wait. I told him I'd be available around midnight, possibly, so who knows. What other good stuff that I have coming up on the channel that I can think of? Yeah, my birthday favorite movies of all time ranked, top 100. And then the ranking. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? There's only 2 people in the chat because I left the chat. Oops. That's embarrassing. I forgot that I had left the chat to look at the one channel that I wanted to show you guys. There, I'm back in the chat now. So my top 100 favorite movies of all time is most likely going to have it on August 2nd, unless I run out of time. Sylvester Stallone ranking 30 movies, which isn't his entire filmography, but ranking 30 random movies of Sylvester Stallone will be on July 6th, barring any conflicts with that. And then an Aliens ranking a couple days after I see the newest movie, assuming I have time to watch the other ones, which I should. Those aren't a problem. There's not that many of them. I own them all now, so. Then the usual crap, the Big Bang Theory reviews, the Shameless reviews, getting through that final season. Of course, the Lost reviews that obviously the legendary Crazy Coffee Man is anticipating. And then I guess I should let the cat out of the bag, even though I probably already told you guys this before at one point. But Better Call Saul reviews start again on the channel in a couple days, so I'll be reviewing every episode of Better Call Saul. Obviously, I've already 6 episodes ahead right now. 6 or 7 episodes ahead, so that's coming next. Still sitting here, no stepping away. And of course, I prefer the Laurie Strode films, and Halloween 4 is very good, but it's basically the original minus the ending. Okay. Well, yeah, but you have Michael Myers going after Rachel, but you also have Michael Myers going after Jamie Lloyd, a young girl, which gives you more tension, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just had a soft spot for Danielle Harris when I was younger because we're roughly the same age, and maybe I just liked her in Halloween 4, and that's why I like the movie so much. I don't even know, but I just know I absolutely love that movie, and that's my go-to Halloween film. I swear on that. I'm not just saying that to get a reaction out of you, and I know you know that anyway, but that's my thought on that. So, I'm trying to think what else I want to do. And I kind of mentioned earlier that I want to go more towards some movie reviews on the channel. It's my goal to probably do 2 videos a day sometime soon. That way I keep, that way there's not a long gap between Lost reviews for the Crazy Coffee Man. And, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I want to do some movie reviews to at least put myself out there more. I feel like they'll eventually gain some traction, maybe not right away, but I just don't know if I'm trying to watch the movie to just watch the movie, but I'd have to take some mental notes, and I'm not necessarily that great at that, but I feel like I can do something. Like I did them before. I know I did a review of Creed 2 on the channel, I want to say, and I did a review for Avengers Endgame, I think I did. So I've done it before. I don't know. I look at what I do compared to everybody else's, and I'm like, what's the point? I need to get better at this, but who knows? I have a soft spot for Jamie Lee Curtis. She's my favorite scream queen and final girl. Okay. I'd love for Danielle Harris to come back to the franchise one day. I wouldn't be against that, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen at some point. It's just too many fans like the character of Jamie Lloyd, and I feel like she will. What the hell? What an eye booger on my freaking eye. But I feel like she will be back at some point. I think that's the route they'll go. Not a guarantee, though, but I think they'd do that. Very true. Yeah, third time's a charm. Yeah, I think they will do that. Maybe not, though. I don't know. I feel like they need to kind of sit on the Halloween franchise for a while, but it's so successful that you can't really just do that. Now my eyes feel dry. It always happens. I tried. Stuff I deal with on a regular basis. So I have, like, issues with my left eye, which is not bothering me that bad right now, where I, like, have constant eye boogers all day long, and it's really freaking annoying. And that's usually, right now they're super dry, but it is what it is. Maybe if I try closing them once, might help matters. But I think I'm about ready to shut down here just because I'm running out of things to ramble about. And if I'm going to start having eye issues, that's a whole other story. So, kind of informed you guys of what I want to do with the channel. Oh, there's a couple things I want to cover, actually, before I go. I know you're probably, maybe you're not, maybe you are, basketball fans. I want to get to doing Chicago Bulls related content once or twice a week on the channel. That would be an extra video a day. It wouldn't be something that I would take a whole day of just one video to do. So I might do that just because I like covering the offseason of the NBA. So if you're a fan of that, come to the channel. And then a TV show that I want to talk to you guys about that maybe you're not familiar with. Crazy Coffee Man, you'll probably have to wait to do this after you watch Lost. But I know you mentioned that your wife is kind of the horror fan of the family. I think you should try to give the TV show From a chance. It's done by some of the people that did Lost. It kind of has the element of Lost, but with a little bit more horror aspect, and it's really good. It has the character of Michael, played, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Harold Perrineau, Walt's dad. He is the main character on the show. And the premise of the show From is you have a small town that people go to. They go to this town, and when they try to leave, no matter what direction they go, they always come back to the town. And on top of that, at night, you have monsters that come out. Monsters that look like the movie Smile, where they smile. They look like humans, but they're actually monsters. So it's got some horror elements. So I'd recommend checking out From. Is there a chance that you may not like it, you or T. Parker Evans? It's possible. But I thought it's a very good show, and you have another season of it. Season 3 comes out on in fall. So sometime around fall. September or October, November-ish. Twilight episode. You mean Twilight Zone episode or Twilight the movie? No, I don't know about that. But as far as where you can find From, it's on Amazon Prime, and then you would have to subscribe to the MGM Plus app, which used to be Epix On Demand. That's where you can find the show From at. So check it out if you want. You don't have to do it now. Maybe in a year or something like that. But I think it's a good show. Thus far, I'm really excited, or well, not excited, but I'm really impressed from what I've seen from the show From. And I actually might start reviewing it on the channel to get ready for season 3. I'm not 100% sure yet. I've only got 11 more episodes of Shameless, so I might go to From that, or I might go to Stranger Things and do From, just random episodes, another video to add for the day. So that's why I mentioned that I'm going to start doing multiple videos a day. If I can add like 1 or 2 episodes of From a week and maybe a Chicago Bulls related video a week, that's what I might do. Not 100% sure, but I'm having a hard time doing reviews as of late. Like, my focus is not necessarily there. Although for Shameless, I seem to get through Shameless quicker than any other show right now. Lost, I get too into where I don't want to, like, take notes. Better Call Saul, I don't like season 1. That's my problem with Better Call Saul. It's just kind of slower. And then Big Bang Theory, those don't take that long, but it's just, I don't know. That's one of those shows that I'm just doing to have an extra video do. So, from Sounds Like a Twilight Episode. Zone, yep, that's what I thought you meant. This was a great stream. Always fun chatting with you. Yeah, I appreciate you, T. Parker. And I actually expected more to happen on this stream, but my buddy didn't show up, and that would have been, me and him could banter back and forth with each other and kind of let you know, like, my history and how I met him. And, like, we used to do work at a public access station, doing work on, doing live shows on a public access station. So it's kind of interesting to talk about that and, my background with, like, equipment and, like, stuff at the station, like camera equipment, the audio board, the MX-30 and all that stuff. So I appreciate you, as always, being on the stream. Obviously, I appreciate you watching my videos. When there's stuff that you're interested to watch, I know all my content, not necessarily something that you always want to watch, but Dexter content I know you'll watch eventually, and anything related to rankings, you'll, if you're into this series, which you usually are, you'll take a look. And Crazy Coffee Man, obviously, your episode plot summaries, or whatever you want to call them, are really legendary. They're very detailed, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And know that you don't have to. If you just want to say, like the episode, good stuff, thumbs up, I would be okay with that. But I like the fact that you take the time to put all those comments. And I appreciate you guys being in the chat. I wish we will. I expected some more people. I know we had a couple people earlier. Didn't see who they were, but I saw the number of people in the chat were higher, so they must have been scared or whatnot. But maybe they'll catch the stream on the playback. Make sure you let me know your thoughts on anything that I talked about. And hopefully for the next live stream that I do, which I might do one on Wednesday since I'm off, if there's anything I can talk about to stall time. Wouldn't be a long stream, maybe an hour tops, but I could definitely do that if anybody wants to see me go live again. But again, I'm sounding like a broken record, but I appreciate the legendary Crazy Coffee Man and T. Parker Evans. Make sure, Crazy Coffee Man, that you go to the Letterboxd app and add me. I will. It's JDev. What is it? Hang on. Got to get the important information out there. I don't remember my own username. So JDev TV with no hyphen. So JDEV TV. That's where you can find me on Letterboxd. So again, I sound like a broken record again. Appreciate you all. Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section if you want to. People that haven't already been in the stream. And to the great Crazy Coffee Man and T. Parker Evans, have a good night.